G'day everybody, Simon here, explosive action on another shopping trip to the city. And as I get the train into the city, a reminder, you can join the channel for 99 cents a month and support the channel. First off is Repressed Records, but they're not yet open, so I take a look next door at this random knick-knack junk shop. I haven't quite worked out what its whole purpose is, with faded VHS in the corner and all these figurines, but I figured let's take a quick look at them, see which ones might stand out. You can see a Joker there, and a bunch of smaller ones.
See my vest, made from real gorilla chest. Feel this sweater, there.
Also a copy of Kerrang with Tesla, not particularly heavy band. Down the street while I was waiting was this vintage by the kilo shop, and oh my god. Yes, sure, we had Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath shirts and Hammerfall and Manowar, but this is one of those overpriced vintage t-shirt places, and when I saw this ticket price I nearly fell off the chair I wasn't sitting on. Repressed finally open, so let's go check out the stock. Into the metal section, of course, taking a flick through. Ascended Dead. Cemetery Filth. I'd like to pick this one up, but it is only an EP. I've got to consider that. The new Crypt Sermon. Evolves demo. It's been out for a while, but now an LP. There's the Hebephronique. Incineratum have a new album, waiting for the LP. There's the Larvae EP. New Pestilential Shadows, absolute ripper. You all need to buy it. New Phrenolith for this year, excellent album. Reek Mind, Australian band. The new Ritual Mass, this is a new band on $20 spin. Been very keen to check this one out, it's had a good write-up from a few people, so yeah, that one should be coming home with me today. We also have the new one from Contusion. I've not actually listened to this band. They're death metal, have a really cool logo. But that's really about all I know from them, so if I should check them out, let me know. Into the used metal section here. I'm loving that they've got one now. Praying Mantis. I've seen this around a few times online. It's got a very cool cover, but it's one of those bands a bit like Demon. It's not heavy enough for my tastes. It's a bit of Lucifer's Hammer. Bit of Anvil. A crappy Megadeth. Don't know who Cough Syrup are. Exhumed Gore Metal, classic. Really well priced that. Witch Vomit EP, great band. Agathocles. Bit of Mincecore. Phobia. Some grind. Mystifier with the hilarious name, great album. Noctum, not too sure who they are, looks very doom metal. Scorched, this came out a couple of years ago and relapsed. And of course there's a Crocus, this one's been on fire. Bluetooth Nord, not expecting to see that in a used bin. And in the used CDs we have an excellent album by Drood. This is Forgotten Legends, original press on Supernal, I already have it, but that's a cool find. But this is even cooler. What on earth is going on here? That looks like an original Bolt Thrower Warmaster. So I take it down and have a look, and indeed that is what we are looking at here. Original gatefold press, original Mosh release, and it's got the Modern Invasion triangle, which is an Australian sticker of approval. Outside we see this horrible sticker. Into Egg Records, take a look around here. I've never seen Laserdiscs in this shop before. Nothing is going to come home with me, but let's take a quick flick through what collection has been dumped here. There's obviously some music, given this is a music shop, but we also have plenty of films, a bit of Sister Act, Beauty and the Beast, it's the 90s one, classic bit of Terminator, ooh, THX Mastered. Terminator 2, original Pioneer release. That one was tempting, but I don't really have any need for it. Phantom of the Opera. Kataro. Blues Brothers. the Abyss box set. I had this way back when I was originally collecting Laserdiscs. 2001, nice looking box set as well. Schindler's List. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. But this one was cool. Iron Eagle. Look at that. Classic 80s action. Got a Penthouse. Woo! Kama Sutra. That one could be useful. Apollo 13. Every collection's got a copy of Speed. The Net. Bit of Pav. Final Mission. This is some definite Broterian action here. I do have a DVD, otherwise I would have picked it up. More Pav. Bit of Clear and Present Danger. More Pav. And Tengu Records. I did go in, but I forgot to film. You'll be amazed at what I picked up, though. Also went and checked out a book fair at the university. This is the university. It's a great old building. Huge line to get in, but it did move fairly quickly. I was there right at the start. Took about 20 minutes to clear. And this is the inside. All of the books. Very well organized and categorized. Of course, I go straight to the science fiction section. You never know what you might find. Always on the hunt for pulp novels and the occasional horror. There's also some comics here. I saw some Toxic Crusaders, which were nice and fun. And this is my haul of sci-fi pulp novels and my sausage sandwich. And a couple of the records I picked up with a beer. So through the magic of editing, that was actually 3 shopping trips all put together in one video. The books I'm not going to go over. If you want to take a look at what they are, go back into the video and see the portion where I show all the spines. It's all sci-fi pulp. It's all my kind of stuff. But yeah, go back and take a look at those spines and look up the stuff if you're interested. But I won't show those separately now. I'm just going to show records, and I've got 4 here to show. First one I picked up is the Innumerable Forms. Pain Effulgence. God, it's just the words today. But anyway, great Boston Death Doom band. Back with their 3rd full length here, Pain Effulgence or Effulgence. Effulgence. I don't know. If you don't know the band, at least, they started as a solo project from Justin DeTore, I think is his name, also of Dream Unending, a really good Death Doom band, a bit more in that romantic style. They haven't done much in a couple of years. They were a big thing there for a few minutes. Maybe we'll have a new album soon. And Summerlands or Sumerlands, a band that I know of, but I haven't actually listened to. But this is one of his other ones, Innumerable Forms. In 2017, he added 4 more members to the band, and it really fleshed it out, including a second guitar. And yeah, 3 albums later, we have this one. They play a very slow and heavy Death Doom. It has the darkness of early Peaceville, the bleakness of a band like Doom Versus, particularly on this 3rd album here. Still firmly rooted in death metal, though. Is very much Death Doom with a capital Death. Not so much Doom with a bit of death in it. Like Crypts from Finland, Spectral Voice, that kind of stuff. That's where Innumerable Forms are sitting. Big, down-tuned, churning guitars, mid-paced or very, very painfully slow at times. But also very angular and discordant in the riffs. Yeah, they do kind of stand out. It's got a bunch of little solos will get thrown in there as well. Just, occasional solos. There's not sort of like permanent fixture. I love the very pounding and swampy sounding drums, though. Great crushing sound for the drums. Big echoey tom drum sound. Doom, doom, doom. Like, it just says doom when he hits the tom. So good. And very impressively deep and reverbed vocals. There's that. Profound lore. I sort of find with Innumerable Forms that their songs work best as an album. This is not something we're going to go, oh, I got to listen to Blotted Inside on 3 times or anything like that. No. Death Doom, Funeral Doom, the Doom stuff for me is sort of like put it on and just let it flow. Innumerable Forms are completely in there, right? Each track doesn't particularly differ a huge amount. To make you go, oh, there's the hit single. I mean, you're not going to get that with Death Doom or slower. Um, but it's a really, really solid album, and I enjoy just putting it on and going with it. So, you know, as the slower they get too, the more you kind of just sort of drift away with what they're pounding out. So, yeah, I prefer to play this kind of stuff as an entirety, and I'd recommend that's how you approach it as well. Let the decay wash over you, or just explode out of your chest, perhaps. Great artwork too. I didn't look up who did this, but it's really, really excellent artwork. Take a look inside. You get a poster. She's a little different, just the way they've laid it out. It is the key art there. All right, sort of more the horizontal version is nice. And we get little lyric sheet, double-sided, made to look like it was done on an old typewriter from an old metal zine, old Slayer magazine, perhaps. We get a download code, which I probably need to do something with. I haven't used it yet. And LP on black. So, yeah, really good stuff. Very crushing. If you're in the mood for Death Doom, and I know you guys in the States right now, it's starting to get colder, definitely check this one out. Innumerable Forms, Pain, Effulgence. It's good. Next up, we have another very dark band and a very new band to me. It's certainly not been around very long, but this is Ritual Mass with Cascading Misery. It starts off with a dark, distorted synth sound, follows quickly by a fast and nasty dissonant guitar, rolling double kick and tom drums, spewing vomit scream, all the good stuff. The hype sticker, as it says, and I've kept it inside, gaze into the depths of an immeasurable hell. Geez, that's a good description for this. They do not waste any time. They switch into a mid-pace sort of blast. They throw in some dive bombs, a chugging rhythm, but it is just dark. It is a dark sounding album. Very evil sounding presence. When they combine those dissonant leads, layered vocal gutturals that sound like they're being screeched from a coffin. It's actually quite unnerving. So yeah, well done in the production department. But as always, just like Innumerable Forms, the band stay firmly rooted in death metal here, returning frequently to sort of traditional staccato or tremolo riffs. Occasionally more New York style, like chugs and pinch harmonics, that kind of stuff. But it is not. Don't make that. Don't try and draw any connection there. This is like some kind of late '90s, early 2000s brutal death metal. No, 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 no. That's not what we're doing here. Just has little elements every now and then, kind of anchor you to a little bit of like the more darker suffocation tracks, just a little bit every now and then. But really, this is more blackened death, and it's just an evil thing. The riffs are very memorable, very solid. I enjoy that. They do stand out. Yeah, it's pretty good achievement, I think, given all the sort of cacophony and the layers I've just talked about. For this kind of blackened, tortured sounding death metal to stand out in the riff department, doing well. Separated into 6 very lengthy tracks. It's all very dark, so maybe hopefully you can see it. The band are in shadows there. They're the 6 tracks. I nominate side A closer, Looming Shapeless Entity. That one's probably my highlight. Mainly down to the very dynamic drum fills in that particular track, the heavy sort of stop-start patterns that fill that song out. The devastating final section as well of that track, like the side A just closes out with a literal bang. It's great. Brought in the riff face. Yep, I got that from the side A closer. Finishes with a nice lick that came straight from the finished cartilage demos. Just yeah, whenever a band even just 20% reminds me of finished death metal from the early '90s, like you're preaching to the choir over here. You've got me, and I'm staying with you. It's just yeah, but I will say it is a bit of a grower. The first listen through, I found it like, yep, that's solid, but it didn't start really sinking in. By the third listen through, I was starting to really identify stuff with it. I was really more what's the word? I don't know. I was just along for the ride a lot more each time that I was spinning this through this album. I've lost my words today, but anyway, Ritual Mass, great logo too. Um, it's deceptively multi-layered, so you spend some time with it. I think the band have thankfully ditched their early hardcore leanings. The very first demo I listened online, and it's not like it's a hardcore band or anything, but you can tell it was a death metal band played by people that were more influenced by hardcore. That's gone at this point. This is just dark, blackened tinged death metal, death doom. Ugh, it's good. It's very, very good. It's out on $20 spin too, so should be very easy for most people to get. And there's the aforementioned hype sticker. Came on a. I don't know what I think about these inners, like the ones that are. I like polys, but the square polys with a hole in the middle. I don't know. It feels cheap. Like that really matters. So yeah, there we go. There's the hype sticker on black. $20 spin tend to do colors, so you might have some other versions available too. There is the one side of the inner sleeve, and there is some lyrics and thanks credits down there. So credited as a 4-piece band here, including synthesizers and cover painting, a layout, and logo by P. Trona. So there you go. Good stuff here. Cascading Misery. I said it's one to just keep chugging along with. If it doesn't hit you straight away, give it the time it needs, and I think you're going to be rewarded. Cascading Misery, Ritual Mass. So with the 2 newer albums out of the way, I picked up 2 very, very lucky used OG finds. I'm very thrilled with both of them. Had to push the boat out a little bit on both of them, but look, Sydney, Australia, an actual record store, and both of them were there. 2 separate stores, and I had I had options to buy both. So I'm not made of stone, and that is how original press bolt thrower Warmaster came home with me. You saw it in the video. It was marked at 150, I think, Australian. I got it low. I got it cheaper because I'll get into it, but I got it cheaper than that. What do I need to say? I mean, it's bloody Warmaster. It's a classic death metal album here. Has one of Bolt Thrower's best tracks, Cenotaph, on it. That cover artwork, this is just so good. Warmaster is a fantastic album, but ask yourself, how often do you particularly pick this album off the shelf out of Bolt Thrower's discography? I know for me, it traditionally wasn't the one I would go for. I get the general feeling that most people are either like, yep, Realms of Chaos, or Fourth Crusade and For Victory. Probably For Victory. But in the middle there, we have Warmaster. And, it's in some ways transitional. So, obviously there's In Battle There Is No Law, which is their very grindy, punky kind of thing, very crusty sounding album. Then Realms of Chaos, which was, it was on the Grind Crusher compilations. It's death grind, but they've always had their groove, but there's a lot of grind in that, right? Then we have Warmaster. After Warmaster into Fourth Crusade, we're into like template bolt thrower, where that's not a bad thing, but you know what you're getting. It's the groove sounding death metal, big, thick, heavy sound. It's all rolling double kicks, right? Or just sort of the chugging along patterns and that kind of stuff, and very much devoid of any grind. Warmaster, somewhere in the middle. It is definitely well on the journey to the groovier, the thuddier, more bolt thrower, the more tanks driving over you bolt thrower. But we still have occasional blasts. We even get some. I find it kind of interesting, like the grindcore build-ups where it drops down to just a single guitar doing a dun 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 dun, and the drums going dun 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 dun, dun, and you're waiting for the grind to come in, and it doesn't. It goes slower and into their sort of hair swirling bolt thrower groove, and you're like, yeah, it's almost trolling if you look at it. But there is some blast sections because it is still that transitional album. It's fantastic. Like there's no such thing as a bad bolt thrower album, and I think most people agree with that. You might not pick up the first album sometimes, and some people might decide they don't want to listen to the album with Dave Ingram on vocals. You're missing out. It's a good album, but Warmaster is for me potentially top two. Um, I think it's very, very, very hard for me to separate Fourth Crusade and Four Victory. That's like me going, Symphonies of Sickness or Necroticism. It depends on the day. They're equal first. Fourth Crusade and Fourth Victory are basically equal first for me. I can't choose between them. War Master is a very clear second place though. I prefer this over Realms. Just is for me. I just prefer it, and I prefer it to the later stuff after Four Victory. But I'm stoked. I mean, I've had the CDs since the late '90s, maybe 2000. I would have probably picked up the very last stuff, but um, I'm thrilled here to get the original Gatefold. So there's the band. There you go, 5 piece, classic bit of death metal there. Look at that, just amazing. What what's this leather piece going on here? That's just outstanding, outstanding. There's the back, and this is one of those Australian things. You know it's a legit original press when you get a Modern Invasion triangle sticker stuck on with concrete. Can't get them off, and they were only on the sort of '90s releases, right? So if you see that, well, yeah, you got an original. Great, it's a great way just to to confirm what you already know that it's an original press. So there you go. It's got it's the earache. What number is this? Mosh 29, and got the classic artwork there. The reason I got it a little cheaper is I do not have the inner lyrics, which has the nice um, the drawings. Is there some of the drawings here? I don't think so. There's the really cool sort of skull logo drawing. It's not represented anywhere here. So unfortunately, I don't have that. I'm looking for if anybody's got this original and has a scanner. I'd quite happily print out my own replica of it. So hit me up. Beautiful condition though. Really, really nice. Very strong VG plus. Plays really well. Um, and yeah, I'm just stoked. Absolutely thrilled. Did I particularly need this when I said I have the whole lot on their original CDs? No. But given that I got the price down, yeah, it was coming home with me because this stuff doesn't show up much, and I love this album. So, Bolt Thrower, War Master, Gatefold original press, just classic British death metal. And lastly, I didn't actually remember to film any footage of this one. As you would have seen, I walked into Tengu Records and then promptly forgot to film anything. But that's okay. That leaves you with a nice surprise with what I've come away with here. A record that was originally priced quite high was then price dropped twice because it's been there for 6 months. And then I cheekily said, "Would you go this price?" And then once more at the checkout, I said, "Can we get it a bit lower?" And we agreed. So I'm thrilled to pick up the original white LP press of Destroyer 666 Unchain the Wolves. Goddamn satanic Aussie classic from 1997. Sure, frontman KK has got some outspoken views, but he also supposedly has got his ass handed to him for being racist to Caller of the Storms from Blasphemy. So swings and roundabouts. But what is undeniable is the other songs on this album. I'm not even talking about riffs. I mean, I didn't get this in '97. I think I got it in about '99. I got the CD. I've had the CD ever since. Again, Modern Invasion. Um, but I mean, this is songs, and they've been stuck in my head forever. This is my favorite Destroyer album. I remember when this came out in '97, and the local Australian metal press, like more the underground stuff, were absolutely frothing over this thing. It was nuts how huge this thing was, and it was definitely one of those like I don't know how I thought of it at the time was it was the kind of metal album that people in Australian metal bands were telling everybody to buy. It wasn't young kids playing metal. It was seasoned guys in see like I don't know if I'm saying the right stuff, but it's like they had the band had the respect of other bands in the scene, and that's really how it gave it sort of an extra, tick of approval. Plus the historical connection to prior bands that all the members were in. It just became this like mandatory thing. It got a huge amount of play, and it's a classic. Okay, it just is undeniably a classic album out of Australia. Um, as soon as the damn thing starts, it's got the bells that come in. The first track, I mean, it's 10 minutes long. Genesis to Genocide of Marching Fury. Um, it's just fantastic. It has such a build up. That track, it's so amazing. Australian and Antichrist. Let's flip it over. There you go. Original Merciless press there with the Mod the Invasion logo on it as well. Australian and Antichrist. I mean, that's practically in my DNA. It's just an anthem. It's got that Motorhead style drunken drums. It's just perfect. Satan's Hammer. Another anthem. Just what a classic. It's a jackhammer of a track. That one. Just you won't escape Satan's Hammer, as it says. Six Curses of a Spiritual Wasteland, just D-beat fury. I think that track is it's not. I don't know. What do I say? It's not like a forgotten track or anything. I just think it's a bit of a sleeper amongst this album. It's maybe not got the big ticks of the first three tracks here, but when you get to that one, it is such a great track. Obviously, the title track, Unchain the Wolves, it's got that purposeful build up over thunder cracks. It's just like Genesis. It gets really big, very mournful tremolo riff, and even some violin in the opening of that track. So good. Thundering toms that lead into a very archetypical, from this point onwards, black thrash attack. This is like that. This is the kind of track that all the Australian black thrash that came afterwards, and it seems to be one of our main scenes. That all came from that track. Like clearly, it's such a monumental track. Another 10-minute one as well. The Loose as Hell Damnation's Pride. That's a fun one. It's a very ugly slab of metal. Again, a lot of those Motorhead influences. Beware the Legions of Satan. They're ready for attack, and then we end off with Onward to October. Which is sort of a little bit of an instrumental. Got some spoken word pieces. I mean, just putting aside whatever your leanings are, your thoughts are on people in the band or things that were said or whatever. Musically, this album is top tier black thrash, death, black, whatever. Like I don't think they, particularly at this time, even gave themselves a name. It's just Australian metal. And it's just crucial. It's fantastic. So much, I think their influences you can clearly hear, Niflheim and Germany's Disaster, but it's where the Destroyer on this album became a band that others became influenced by, and alongside the bullet belts and the big sunglasses of Motorhead, all of the Australian. There's an Australian slant in here in the music, which you can hear when you listen to like Gospel of the Horns that were pretty much around the same time. Nocturnal Graves, they're still going. Shackles, they're around for a bit of time. Mongrel's Cross, it's got Prescriptor from Absu on them. There's a bunch of this stuff, and it's very Australian sounding. And Destroyer, Destroyed, that was their gift to the world. So there's the band. Bullet Eater, Shrapnel. I don't know how many. I think it might just be KK that's left from this lineup. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's probably no more than just one other at most. You go to the lyrics. So another reason I got this one cheaper is it's meant to have a big poster, and clearly it's hanging on someone's wall in 1997. But somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody photocopied that poster and made two pieces like printouts here of just, I don't know, like taken a photo of the poster and then gone down to Kinko's and run off a copy or something. It's I don't really know, but I'll take this over no poster. It's kind of cool actually. So I don't know, it's kind of unique. This is not legit. Somebody's just run this off, and it's kind of second generation, but you get essentially your thrash collage. But I don't have to have it hanging on the wall. I'm pretty sure this is the thing that was the poster. It is very, very hard to get photos of that poster. I'd like to see one if anybody has one. I'd like to see what that looks like hanging or whatever, or unfolded. But yeah, this is not official, this piece, but it was included, so cool. And there's two variants, I think, that were at the time, and I got the white one. I have a feeling the other one might have been blue. If not blue, it was black, but either way. So, look, there you go. As I said, aware, beware, war. It is just big Australian 90s, late 90s classic. It just is. It absolutely is. Unchain the Wolves, Destroyer 666, get a dog up here.
Gonna drift your feet with. You wanna stay things ever. Go!
So they're the 4 records I picked up on this shopping trip, or this collection of shopping trips. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you like, subscribe, consider joining the channel, 99 cents a month. Check out this guy. Check out this guy. I'll see you next time.